What's going on, Raider Nation? Ghost here. Finally the NFL draft's about to come in about a week. A little bit more than a week per se, but still. The NFL draft's finally going to be coming. Wanted to briefly talk about the NFL draft. There isn't a whole lot I can say because we only have 5 picks as of right now, 3 of them being compensatory, 2 picks being, of course, I think our own. But I can talk a little bit about the offseason and what we've done. We signed Ron Bartel. We signed, I believe, Pat Lee. We signed pretty much some extra cornerbacks. Got some depth there. Shante Spencer, I believe, is the other guy we signed corner-wise. We also got, I believe, Mike Brizzo on the offensive line of Houston. We went with all these underrated signings. I think Dave Tollefson from the New York Giants on defense. So a few random guys you're not really going to know deeply. But still, these are these underrated signings with getting rid of Cameron Wembley, which was an overpaid contract. We had to get rid of our dead weight. We had a big cap situation we were kind of stuck in. Make sure we had to restructure our contracts. But we had to sign the guys who were under the radar. And so far, the free agency signings we made are fine. Can't exactly say I love or hate, but it's kind of whatever. It is what it is. Bruce Campbell was also traded for, I believe, Goodson, who is from the Panthers. That's supposed to address our running back depth now that we've lost Michael Bush. So McFadden, Goodson, Taiwan Jones, 3 running backs. I think we're good at that position. With what do we got? So a lot of those under the radar moves that McKenzie has done. He's got to put his people in. It's not going to happen overnight, but he was able to get rid of some of our dead weight and some of our overpaid cap space. A lot of restructuring, as I said, that went on. So far, I'm okay with the moves we made. I have to see it on the field to really know some of these players because I could ask a Rams fan about Ron Bartel. I could ask a Houston Texans fan about Mike Brizzo. But I don't really know the guys so well. I need to see people on the field before I start really judging. Now on to the draft itself. Okay, now quickly recapping the pretty much I could recap half of this draft that we've already used because we've already traded a lot of it for players. So in the first round, the Raiders selected Carson Palmer, if we want to be technical. Carson Palmer brought us wins. It's supposed to be our franchise quarterback. And we spent our first round pick on that. So the Bengals have that at, I believe, 17 overall. I might be wrong, but I believe that's where the Bengals will be selecting with that. Second round, we selected Joseph Barksdale and Taiwan Jones. Al Davis kind of selected a lot. A lot is invested in these 2 guys, and they better produce. Because the second round draft pick, I value those a lot. I'm not into trading a future second round pick for more. But Taiwan Jones, he's done some special teams. He has some speed, but injured. We all know Barksdale kind of has rotated, but haven't seen a lot from him. But there's a lot invested in him, and I hope they produce. Third round, we selected Terrell Pryor, and of course, that's from the supplemental draft. So we got it back, but a third-round pick was used on Pryor. As expected, he's supposed to be the future quarterback, and I think McKenzie has him pegged as number 2 behind Palmer. Got no problem with that. He's going to be the future. Just got to know the system. Got to learn the system. Al Saunders is still part of our staff, so he should be in good hands there. Fourth round, we selected Jason Campbell, technically. That's when we traded for Jason Campbell, and he provided us wins and made sure we did not give the Patriots a top 5 or top 10 draft pick when a lot of people thought we were going to have 5 wins in 2010. A lot of people had us still sucking, and giving up our first round pick wasn't good, but no, we did enough winning to make sure we were not giving the Patriots a fat draft pick when we traded Richard Seymour. Lastly, of course, in the 7th round, technically, we used that on Aaron Curry. And so far, he's just kind of a rotational linebacker. I hope to see more out of him. He restructured his contract, so that's good. Hopefully the coaching staff can get the guy better. Dennis Allen, as we know, is supposed to produce defense. So that's pretty much recapping half of the draft without even the draft starting. That's pretty much what we've done. But now on to the actual 5 picks we got. Okay, so we have 3 compensation picks that were given by the league with the losses of all the free agents we had. A 3rd, 4th, and 5th round pick that we can't trade up or down. We have to use those picks, so that'll be good. We also have our 5th and 6th that we never used, so we're traded. So we got 5 picks, and we can't trade our 1st and 2nd of next year because of Carson Palmer, of course. So Luckily, we're not going to see any of that future first-round draft pick trading crap. I don't want to see any of that, to be honest. I'm fine with trading players for picks, but I don't want to see us trading another first or second pick for another first-round pick this year or something. But going on, third-round pick. What do you do at 95 or I think 96 overall with that pick? Just Reggie McKenzie openly said, get the best player available, and I'm fine with that. We have a good share of needs. The only positions I don't want to see us taking is quarterback, wide receiver, and running back. I do not want to see those three positions taken. Maybe even a tight end. We have 4 tight ends right now on the roster that were drafted. Three of them were already with us, so I don't need to see another tight end as well. Running back is pretty good depth now. We got 3 running backs there. Fine with a late round pick, but not with that best player overall. I don't see the need to draft another running back with so much we've invested in Taiwan Jones. Quarterback is pretty obvious, and save for wide receiver, where it should have a good development there. I'd be fine with a defensive lineman or offensive lineman taken with those with the third round pick. I have no issue with that. Specifically the defense. The pass rush got really bad after Darren McFadden went out. I don't know why, but this whole team just changed. The pass rush and defense was very poor. And once, I don't know why, this is the second half. It wasn't living up to hype, so I'm fine. As I said, offensive line, defensive line with the third round pick. Offensive line got inconsistent as well. Once McFadden was out, the run blocking got different, the pass blocking got different. I don't know what it is, but the offensive line can use a little bit of shakeup or a little bit more depth, because the offensive line is one position that I feel you can never have enough of. You can never have enough offensive linemen, because I like a lot of bulk and a lot of depth at that position. So those are the 2 positions I'd want. I'll have names in the description. With the 4th, 5th, and 6th round picks, I think we have 2 5ths. Just once again, just get some depth, whatever it is. At linebacker, I'm fine, because linebacker we have some holes. Secondary, we've signed a lot of corners because of the losses, the routes, and Chris Johnson leaving us, being that we're stuck with Van Dyke and Chekwaz, the only 2 guys from last year on the roster. We'll see. I could see us taking another, maybe a safety or corner near with the later picks. As I said, linebacker, I got no problem with that. But there should be at least an offensive and defensive line and linebacker taken at minimum with the 5 picks. At least those 3 should be used. 3 of them should be used on those 3 positions. But otherwise, from there on out, it could be the best player available. Now, I won't throw out names directly in this video, but I did do some research and looked at projections. So it wouldn't surprise me if Reggie McKenzie goes with the mid-major route, and he'll try to pick up those guys that are underrated. But I don't know if we're going to have any talent like first-round talent that's going to fall all the way to the end of the 3rd round. Maybe some second-round talent will fall, but Reggie plans to take the best player available. I just hope it's not a wide receiver. That's all I'm going to hope for at this rate. Just check the description out below. I'll have some names that are thrown out maybe that could be drafted. But I'm not going to do another reaction video even if we trade up. I probably, I'm going to be kind of away for this draft. So I don't even think I'm going to have a camera on me to show my reaction. Sorry to those of you who loved my reaction videos, but I will be talking when the draft is over. Eventually, I won't have it immediately up after the draft, but I'll talk with what we got. It's going to be tough just because of everything else happening in the division. Supposedly everyone else got better, and the Raiders, they can win games, but they got to play complete games, and we haven't seen any of that last year. So they're competitive, and they're getting lucky to win, but I need to see much more depth and a lot more specifically brains on defense. We'll see what Dennis Allen does from here on out. Let me know what you guys think. If you have any names, you can put them out in the description. By the way, the schedule just came out, and to briefly talk, I don't like the first 4 games of the season. That's a tough schedule. You're playing a team in prime time, and then you're also playing a team that's had your number in the second week. It's just annoying. Now, personally, I have low expectations. I know there's still a lot that can go from here and out, but I have low expectations this year. It doesn't take, it can't take a full year to just turn things around. Unfortunately, with all the situations of the cap we've had and everything. So, schedule, I don't really have a lot to say about that. By the way, just curious, so anyone watching this, NFL fans, have you bought any Nike NFL gear? Anyone? No, I've had this Nike glove for a while, so no, I haven't bought any, but I don't know if I'll probably buy any anytime soon, just because I have a decent collection of sports gear, of course. But I was just wondering if anyone has immediately bought any Nike NFL gear, whether it's the jerseys or the t-shirts, because I know we're in a Nike era now of NFL stuff, and New Era's making the hats, so I'll probably buy New Era hats down the line, but probably won't buy anything Nike related anytime soon. Let me know, what do you guys think of the new Nike stuff for the NFL? Leave it in the comments below. I'll see you guys later.